So, Ed, one thing I think that we can agree on is that the less unplanned pregnancies here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, the better. And so something that I have worked on is really increasing access to what we call LARCs, which are long-acting reversible contraceptives. We know that these are the most effective and safest forms of contraception in 2017. So I was able to obtain $6 million a year of what we call TANF money. It didn't come out of the general fund, and that was to be used to increase access and also to educate providers on how to implant these devices. The implantables obviously go under the skin, and then an IUD is inserted into the cervix. But so I had $6 million last year and then this year in the budget that was non-general fund money. And my question to you is, would you support such a budget amendment?
Well, I would look at that, Ralph. I would tell you that obviously a woman who is dealing with an unplanned pregnancy, any women dealing with that are dealing oftentimes in crisis and deserve our love and our support and our compassion. I believe that, Virginia, we should be the most adoption-friendly state in the country. There's more we need to do to improve our foster care system. As you know, we are very, very low in terms of people and our young people in foster care being able to get permanency. We've got to improve that. I do believe in terms of, for example, and have said publicly that I believe that oral contraceptives, the pill, according to the College of, you would know better, the OBGYN's Association, they said, I think about 10 years ago now, that there's no reason for the pill to be a prescription drug, and it should be available over the counter. I would support that. I think it should be behind the counter, but over the counter. And as for the $6 million, I will take a look at that and dig deeper into that TANF money and get back to you with an answer. But I'm not familiar with it. I'll be honest with you. I'm not familiar with your language that you put in there, nearly as familiar as you are with it.
Right.
Mr. Northam.
Yes, thank you. And I would just emphasize, when you want to take care of all Virginians, and we're going to have an open door policy in Virginia and welcome people to the Commonwealth of Virginia, reproductive freedom really equates to economic freedom. And so we need to really let women across the Commonwealth of Virginia make a decision of what's best for her body. And what I have stood up against in my 10 years in Richmond are the continued attacks on access to women's reproductive health care, starting with the transvaginal ultrasound bill, which put us on late-night comedy shows. Then we had the TRAP laws, and then we had the personhood bill that I know you're familiar with, Mr. Gillespie. And our people on the Republican side say that these types of legislation are to make it safer for women. No. They're to shame a woman in a decision that is constitutionally their right and should be made between the woman, her partner, and her provider. So it's time. There is no excuse in the Commonwealth of Virginia that legislators, most of whom are men, continue to tell women what they should and shouldn't be doing with their bodies. That has to stop in Virginia.
All right.